Good morning and welcome to Cincy Lifestyle. Thank you for joining us on what's been described, Mona, to me as a rather dreary Tuesday. I think they might be right.
Yeah, you know what? It is so far, but you know, we might get just clouds in the rest of the day, so no chance of rain maybe afternoon, I think I heard. So that's good. So that means you can have time to get out. Even if you won't get a suntan today, you can enjoy the outdoors.
And there you have our forecast for the morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, right quick before we dive into the fun and joy that is Cincy Lifestyle, I want to point out a moment, a historic moment that we ought to pay attention to, and it's writ small. It's not some big. It's not the D-Day invasion or anything like that. I want to note the passing of a woman who was once known as the fastest girl drummer in the world. Her name was Viola Smith, and there she is with her band, the Coquettes, and this was kind of the trend for a while as men were off to war and we turned to women to fill in a lot of the spaces that traditionally had been filled by men. Bands were one of them, kind of like Rosie the Riveter, kind of like A League of Our Own. And so there she is in the back on that huge drum set. She's got two big tom-toms, one at either shoulder, and she was just rocking. It's too bad you can't hear this. It's on YouTube, as you can see, but she was awesome, as was that whole music ensemble, Mona. Just great. She passed away over the weekend, 107 years old, from complications from Alzheimer's.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you shared that, Clyde. You know, that is really, it can be inspiring for females or women who are looking to do an instrument, especially some instruments that are traditionally done by males, like drumming. So I just think that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, quickly, Clyde, did you have a instrument that when you were growing up, did you play an instrument?
I played the tuba.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. You know, were you tall then too? Because you could carry that tuba?
I was tall and I had on a little extra weight too, so that all worked together. Well, while we're talking about,
Well, I'm glad.
while we're talking about women who are doing things and making advances, I want to talk about an idea that was born from a sense of tranquility. Fleurish Grounds combines specialty plants with artisanal coffee and always keeps community at the center of whatever they do. And joining us this morning to tell us a little bit more about it is Stephanie Myers-Cable. She's the manager at Fleurish Grounds. Stephanie, thank you for joining us and talking to us this morning.
Hey, Clyde, thanks for having me.
Okay, so Stephanie, as I understand it, things for this business got started in a garage. So what was the inspiration about, and what made them want to start a coffee shop and a plant shop?
Well, it all started, the kernel of this idea started with one of my best friends, Christine Kim, who is our owner. She is from California, and she's a plant lover and a coffee lover. And when quarantine started, she was selling plants mostly on Instagram. I kind of got involved because she hired my daughters, actually, my young daughters, to help her process the plants and get them ready to be delivered. The Instagram got large, so then we started selling out of her garage. I would come by every day and we would sell plants from her garage, and our Instagram following was quickly growing. And then it just grew too big for the garage. And so we definitely wanted to keep it local in our community. I live in Madisonville. She lives in Madisonville. It was something that we definitely were mindful of investing in Madisonville. So we found a storefront that is 1 block away from her house and 2 blocks away from my house. And we signed a lease on this place. And then we just kind of have been going full steam since then.
So let me plumb the depths of your expertise, because as we're heading into the colder months, folks are thinking about houseplants. What options might you recommend for them?
So in the colder months, you can still have great, beautiful plants inside your house. I think a lot of people panic when they think about what's going to happen to their plants in the winter. It's really just small adjustments that you need to make to the care of your plants, like water less for sure. Don't be scared that your plants drop some leaves or look a little not as good as they usually do in the summertime. They're dormant. They're not photosynthesizing the way they do in the summertime. So that's okay. Don't panic. So you want to just give them more light in the wintertime and less water. And then I know that some people in the winter, definitely in Ohio, maybe get a grow light from Amazon, or you can put them on a heat pad to keep them warm. And also spray them. Give them a little mist every now and then. That heat that's kicking on in your house can dry out the air. So plants definitely love humidity for the most part.
Okay.
So give them a little spritz.
Okay, super. So you guys do a lot of things up to and including supporting local artists. Sorry, we don't have time to chat about that, but let's direct people to your website where they can find out more about that. How do they get in touch with you?
Yes, we're very active on Instagram at Fleurish Grounds, Fleurish Grounds, and our website, flourishgrounds.com. We really try to answer back if you have any messages sent to us as quickly as we can. We're pretty active on social media, so you can definitely always get a hold of us that way.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for talking with us, Stephanie.
Thanks, Clyde. Thanks for having me.
All right. Mona?
You know, we got to admit, we all have our go-to comfort foods, and the deep dish pan pizza may be at the top of the list for some people. Well, even though we may not be in Chicago, there is one family in Florence, Kentucky who brought the authentic dish right here with a Midwest flair. Allie, of course our Allie, stopped by Bourbon House Pizza to give it a try.
Okay, so we have the traditional cheese Chicago-style pan pizza. I always say it's very hard to find a really good pan pizza in the Cincinnati tri-state. Okay, how do I even eat this? Very carefully. 3, 2, 1. So what makes a good pan pizza? Well, ingredients are number one. The pan pizza is a fine balance of crust, filling, which comprises of cheese, toppings of your choice, and of course, more cheese, topped with the right amount of flavorful sauce. Sprinkle in authentic Chicago roots, and that simply gives it a level of credibility. And that's exactly what the Chicago native and family has brought to the tri-state with Bourbon House Pizza.
We brought in a Chicago with a combination of Kentucky. You know, Chicago's known for deep dish and Kentucky is bourbon, so we decided to be Bourbon House Pizza offering the Chicago deep dish.
What is their reaction when they come in? Is it similar to how I was, where I'm like, it's really hard to find deep dish?
Yeah.
They were like, oh my gosh, we had no idea that this was so close, or, you know, and they're like, we can drive here.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Closer than Chicago.
We actually even have some people that I think are regulars now, they drive almost an hour to come carry out. Yeah,
We do
carry
have
out.
people come from Louisville, from Lexington,
Oh, yeah, we do.
from Indiana. Oh yeah. Some people even said it's better than in Chicago. I mean, we have our own little take on a deep dish, same concept, but you know, it is our Chicago style deep dish pizza.
Let's break down the menu. Bourbon House Pizza makes their own sauce, produces fresh dough daily, and takes pride in using only the top quality ingredients. They're of course known for their pan, but you could still get a traditional pie or mix it up with a cauliflower crust. And since we're not in Chicago, ranch has to be on the menu. And oh, they make that in-house too. It's then rounded out with breadsticks, calzones, hoagies, all the traditional pizzeria staples. And of course, pair that with a glass of top-shelf bourbon. It's really that authentic Chicago taste baked with Southern hospitality.
So one of the things that I liked when we came to Kentucky was honestly, there is such a thing as Southern hospitality.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what? It hit me because I never knew it, you know, growing up in a big city. Life was slower, simpler. People were just nicer. I remember when my first child was born in Kentucky, someone looked at her and said, oh my gosh, she's fresh. I never heard that term. I will never forget that. You know, it was just so sweet. You know, in a bigger city, you know, nobody, you know.
You're not just...
I
It's not the
loved
same.
the people were so nice here, and we knew, wow, this is a nice place to be.
That's what's known as a happy ending to that story, Allie. And Allie, thank you for joining us to share in this conversation. That looks like a really great place. You talked about all of those wonderful people who are part of this. Looks like fun.
Yeah, honestly, it really was. And that comment that I made at the top of the segment, how it's tough to find a good, authentic, deep dish pan pizza in this tri-state, I still kind of stand by that, but boy, they check the box on it. So they're one of very few, let's put it that way. I loved the fact that it is very much a true family-run business. They've been here for about 13, 14 years now. And so it's the mother and the daughter right now, and hoping to pass it on to Stephanie later on and see where they go with the business in the future. But it was really, really good, true, authentic deep dish pizza. So it does exist in the tri-state.
Well, Allie, you mentioned a Chicago hot dog as well. What is that?
I don't actually remember mentioning the Chicago style hot dog. But
I guess we saw a picture of one. We saw a picture of one.
Maybe. I do know on their menu, though, they have pretty much your classic pizzeria dishes from, again, your calzones to your breadsticks, and they'll even do wings. So that's kind of close. And I've been eyeing their bourbon barbecue chicken pizza. That looks really, really good. And when I say top shelf bourbons, they really do have top shelf bourbons, because for those who are bourbon drinkers, Blanton's is on there. You have your Basil Hayden's, your top shelf Woodfords and Old Foresters. So it's a great place to check out, especially now with the weather getting cooler. Pizza's just kind of hits that mark.
And you're just torturing us. Thank you.
I know. I'm so sorry I didn't bring you guys back.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, anyway.
Check them out online.
Thanks, Allie. You are always, sacrificing for us and making those stories about food. So thank you. Thank you so much. We will be right back.
Welcome back. It's estimated that 3 to 4 million animals are in shelters awaiting loving forever homes, which is why in November we recognize PetSmart Charities National Adoption Days and National Shelter Appreciation Week. Now, here to talk with us a little bit more about taking care of your pets is veterinarian and senior manager of veterinary outreach for PetSmart Charities, Dr. Amanda Landis-Hanna. Dr. Hanna, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Can you tell us about the National Adoption Days?
National Adoption Days are November 2nd to 22nd. Additional information about National Adoption Days and use of our Pet Finder tool can be found at PetSmartCharities.org. The Pet Finder tool is a great way to find and locate your next furry best friend.
Okay, so after you choose a pet, then what? What's next?
The first thing you should do is take the opportunity to really acclimate your pet to your household. If you have other pets, you want to make sure that you're giving them an opportunity to socialize with your new family member in a controlled and safe environment.
So, are there recommendations that all pet owners ought to be aware of?
Absolutely. As a veterinarian, I suggest finding a veterinarian if you don't already have one. The veterinarian can then help you with things like getting your pet a microchip to help in case of loss. Additionally, your veterinarian is going to be your best resource for nutritious food ideas and to help make sure your pet is getting all of the care that it needs.
For some people, adopting a pet from a shelter is kind of a dicey proposition. Why do you recommend that people actually do adopt from a shelter?
I think that adopting a pet from a shelter is a great way to bring additional love into your household. By adopting a pet from a shelter, you're actually not only helping that pet, but you're freeing up space within that shelter for another pet who might need temporary housing before they find their forever family.
So, Dr. Landis-Hanna, is there anything else that a new pet owner really ought to know?
All new pet owners definitely should know that their pets should have a microchip and not to make any big food decisions without talking to your veterinarian.
Okay, all right. Well, that's sound advice. And I know you've got more to share with people. Where can they go to get more advice about pet care and PetSmart Charities National Adoption Days event?
Additional information on National Adoption Days can be found at PetSmartCharities.org. That's also where you can find the Pet Finder tool so that you can locate your furry best friend.
All right. Dr. Landis-Hanna, thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, when you look at people's porches around town, you'll likely notice jack-o'-lanterns. Well, some will have you chuckling, and some will make you smile, and some will make you think they were carved by a kindergartner, and they probably were. But rarely will you see a pumpkin carved with such artistic ability that it will take your breath away. And we wanted to bring back a segment from last year that we can't stop thinking about. And it's not about me in the costume. It's definitely about the carving. Take a look. And right now I want to welcome Oba Rhodes Jordan, owner of Edible Sculpted Creations. Good to have you back. It's always a pleasure.
It's good to be back. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Okay, your talent is just unmatched. It's amazing. So this is a big holiday for you, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Halloween is our busiest season of the year because we're just surrounded by jack-o'-lanterns all day, every day.
So how many jack-o'-lanterns have you carved this season?
I've carved over 100. I've kind of lost count because it's kind of like I've just been cut all night. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning,
Really?
It doesn't matter.
And you obviously have a passion for this. So talk to me about the ones you brought with you and how long it took to carve them. These are amazing.
Yes, well, this guy, he's kind of like on some sneaky stuff. He doesn't know what's really going on. He's got a spider in his hand. I was kind of doing this guy kind of out of, I was feeling a certain way. I kind of wanted to take the eyes out, but I went ahead and did the eyes out of radish. You know, he's just up to some real evil things.
Yeah.
And then this guy here, I just
love
did him
him.
out of fun because I was trying to get the feel for the, doing more mustaches and beards.
So how long did it take you to do like one of these, the most difficult one?
Typically, they go anywhere from 2 to 4 hours each.
Really? So you do work into the wee hours of the morning.
Yes, yes.
So tell me, how do you feel about that? I know you love it.
Oh, because it's high energy. When I'm carving, I don't get sleepy at all. Sometimes I don't even have an appetite when I'm carving because I'm more excited on the next thing that I'm getting ready to carve.
So tell me, do you sell your pumpkins? How do you get them out?
Yes, we're actually a business. We're an edible fruit and vegetable sculpting company out in Fairfield. We do watermelons, we do vegetables, we do a variety of things throughout the season. It's not just pumpkins we do once a year.
Okay. All right. So tell me, what tips do you have for people who are carving their pumpkins right now at home?
If you want to carve, what you do is you just take your time, be positive with every stroke, don't have any doubt in what you're doing. You can never go wrong because, I mean, it's a jack-o'-lantern. You can't make a mistake. It's your own thing.
Wow, you haven't seen my jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, but yeah, it just means it's original, huh?
Yes,
That's
yes.
right.
Nothing, you can never be a bad jack-o'-lantern.
And do you go by pictures or do you have these visions in your mind and just start carving?
That's the fun part. You got to listen to the pumpkin because the pumpkin tells the story. You do a stroke, you do another stroke, the pumpkin makes his own face. You just bring that face out of the pumpkin.
I love it. Where can people find more information about what you're doing and your farm and your vegetable stand? Where can people find you?
You can go to our company at esculptedcreations.com. There's a link on our website. You can go to our Facebook, our Instagram. We also have a Twitter. Everything is linked through esculptedcreations.com, and we can be reached at 513-713-0122.
All right, I'm going to give you 2 paws up.
Okay. We'll be back with more Cincy Lifestyle on the other side of the break. Plus, be sure to check us out on Facebook. That's where we post all of our guest segments, community stories for you to watch and share with your friends. So like us and follow us now at facebook.com/Cincy Lifestyle, and we promise no more 2 paws jokes. So here we have this wonderful panoramic view of the Cincinnati skyline, and PK, the director, spots a crane that he hopes isn't lifting Red's ticket prices. This is what we have to work with, folks. Light rain moving out around our area today. It'll stay cloudy for the rest of the day, and we'll warm up into the low 50s. Mona.
All right, well, coming up tomorrow here on Cincy Lifestyle, we celebrate our literary history. That's right, Cincinnati Magazine is declaring this November the month of the book. And we'll talk to its editor-in-chief about why he believes Cincinnati is such a book-friendly community.
Then, if you're looking to spruce up your space, we've got just what you need. The lifestyle expert behind Be the Best Home will tell us all about some of her favorite finds this season. All that, whole lot more happening tomorrow here on Cincy Lifestyle, Mona.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to both of those stories and more. And you know what? If you have an idea, a thought, a comment, some advice for help with technical issues, yeah, reach out to us. We want to know. We want to know all about it. Look at all the ways right there on your screen.
You took that personal,
we love it
didn't
when
you?
I did. I really did. Because, you know, it's typically on my end, right? Because Clyde, being technology, right, usually. So it's typically my fault, an operator error. But we want to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching today. Get out and enjoy the outdoors today. And we hope that you have a great day and a great Tuesday, and make it a great day. Thanks for watching our video. And if you liked what you saw, hit the subscribe button. You can also check out full episodes of the show you've never seen before, or watch your favorites again and again. And as always, we love to say it, make it a great day.